Hey! I don't know what happened with at the beginning of the intro. I know the intro played, but I'm not sure how much of a gap there was between me pressing go live and the intro starting, because I pressed go live and then I heard Gary say, "Let me get it in." And then the live start.
No, I was actually saying to John, and don't react to this, John. I was actually saying to John.
I'll wait till we're offline before I say it.
Yeah,
because,
yeah. His usual comment before we go live.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew exactly what you were talking about, Gary.
How are we, chaps?
Good.
Well, thank you.
We look like the Wiggles today.
So again,
if Mikey was in purple, we'd look like the Wiggles.
The Wiggles.
No,
Wiggles.
green, yellow, blue.
More
red.
like the Teletubbies.
At least you're not color coordinated with one of the Garys today, which makes a change.
Yeah. Didn't get time to send out the memo.
Yeah.
I've
By the
got,
way,
I've got my name on my t-shirt in case I forget who I am.
Oh, there you go. I just thought, within the first 30 seconds, you're going for the nipple sort of.
Yeah, I would get it in quick.
Switch your microphones over, mate.
Oh, okay. Let's try. Is that better?
Yes.
Cloudy beer now.
Yes.
Nope.
Good.
There we go.
Sea Fury.
Yeah.
Yes. See if it
Yes, I had a reasonably pleasant experience with Big Boy yesterday for half an hour. And
that's why you were saying
melon.
Get it in.
Yeah.
And now I'm just had a bit of a scare just now with the old Sea Fury, but
tell us more.
well, I was looking at the prop and all this, and when you look at the actual instructions for fitting the prop in here, the actual picture is a little bit deceiving. Stage 62, because it looks like it slots into something, and there is a big cavernous hole there. There's nothing there.
What is it with you and penetration today?
So I was looking at that thinking, oh my god, I've put all this on and left something out. But
this is one thing that grips my shit about these new boxes. They're not wide enough for the bloody instructions, so the instructions are folded lengthways.
What's with the negative waves?
Yeah. What's with the gripping shit? Isn't that just going to ooze between the fingers?
If you parry, you just lick it off your hands.
Oh, please.
Should we start again?
Yes.
When Gary was giving his monologue, I realised something. We're all colour coordinated with our backgrounds, because I've got green behind me. If you look at Gary, lean forwards, Morris. You got big yellow and orange stuff behind you.
That's my 3D printer.
John's got blue posters on his wall, and Waitrose has got red boxes behind him.
Red boxes?
Yeah, his Airfix boxes.
Oh yeah.
Oh right. Oh yeah.
So we'll all coordinate with our own backgrounds.
For a minute there, I thought you said red boxes.
I'm coordinating with my Sea Fury as well, since it's red.
Yes. Yeah. Good point there.
So
it's bloody red.
Ooh.
Actually. Vallejo game colour bloody red.
I do apologise. So
yes. So yeah. This is your first live stream since you come back, Gary. Oh no, it's not. You're on Tuesday, weren't you? Yeah,
I was there on Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah.
For a bit. Yeah. Yeah. It's our first proper live stream. Yeah. Yeah. I forgot where most of the kit was, how to connect it. All the usual things.
Forgot where
Still haven't unpacked my bloody suitcase yet. It's up in next to the wardrobe. I literally haven't unpacked. Fortunately, there was a washing machine where we stayed in Budapest, so it's not like full of dirty clothing. It's full of clean clothing. But yeah, it's just a lot of stuff in there. There's 2 bottles of smoked ale as well from Germany, which is really weird. It's a proper acquired taste. So they smoke the malt grains before they allow them to fully sort of explode to malt. And then what you essentially get is barbecue flavored beer. It's really weird. And I love it, absolutely love it. But a lot of people really hate it.
It's like T2, the tea company T2. I think they're not in the UK anymore, but they had a flavour called, because they've got Sydney breakfast, Melbourne breakfast, Canberra breakfast, but they had a London breakfast, and it smelt like the Great Fire of London. Like it was so smoky. It was either that or a pea soup. I couldn't work it out, but it was weird. It tasted like regret, you know.
Did it have like a lot of Lapsang Souchong in it or something? Because that's a very, very smoky tea.
It just
famously smoky tea.
Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, but yeah, it
smelled of post-war disappointment. Did it?
It tasted like V1 strike. Yeah.
Okay.
The taste of the Blitz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bringing back all those beautiful memories.
Yeah.
We had the Blitz spirit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Very good.
12 goes into, which doesn't get glued to what?
Oh, he's off again.
That's his cum face.
Okay.
He's enjoying himself too much in this build.
No, I'm sorry.
Fortunately for me, my webcam is right in front of the frame where Gary Morris is. So I don't have that now engraved on my retina forever.
Yeah. Well.
So dodged a bullet there, I feel.
No, I'm just trying to work out this sequence for building up the prop.
Right.
As we call it.
Sea Fury.
Yes.
Fury.
More importantly, let's get on with the chat.
Sure. Shall we do the rounds again?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. We're not...
Do you want to have a go at doing that, Gary? Wait, Rose?
What's that?
We do the rounds where I read a comment out, then Morris, then you, then John.
Well, that would be great if I see any of the comments on my stream. I can't see any of them.
I'll put them on the screen.
We're not to be trusted.
Oh, okay.
It's to stop John getting carried away.
Okay.
Come on, then.
Stop me get carried away. I mean, Mikey's the one that recognised what Gary's
Shut the fuck up.
vinegar face looked like. Vinegar stroke face. But let's get on with it, shall we?
Please. Right, let's go.
Tiff says, 3 hours in counting. I shan't be here today, but better behave yourselves. Oh, yeah. Also, hit that thumbs up, folks.
Okay, so we've let it go from the beginning.
Yeah, you failed on the behaving yourself.
Out the window straight away.
Yeah. Sorry. Tiff says, "Oh, she's been a member for 7 months. That's flown by."
Oh, Gary Markham, behave. Fat chance. Ha 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 ha. Right, boys. Let's party, people. Yo 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 yo. Yo. Good plan, Gary.
Oh, Black Hat Scale Models. He's telling us to behave is like saying, do your worst, peoples.
Nice, easy one. Matthew says he's been a member for 5 months. Yay.
Wow. Cool.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
And Matthew says, "Hello all."
Post, apparently.
Oh, I heard
Right.
that too.
Well, everyone's gone for the post. Look.
Bye. Bye.
So, welcome to the 2 Garys. Not the 2 Ronnies, but the 2 Garys.
That's very professional.
Program tonight.
I just remembered what we all look like. The Queen cover.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that makes me Brian May.
Yeah, what am I?
Wow.
I'm John Deacon. Hooray. Hello, Freddie.
Hello.
Hello, darling.
Hot space. Let's go.
Yes, 40 years since Live Aid, isn't it?
Really?
And Queen's famous set at Live Aid.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
There we go.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, not quite got the full Mercury going just yet. But,
Mercury
that's the wrong
Oblique
colour as well.
Magnum.
Yeah.
All right, now the
Oh, hello.
I got one from Jadlam, and I got one I can't remember what the hell it is.
when did you order
Excellent.
the Jadlam one?
2 days ago.
Ooh.
It won't be coming today.
I shall.
So anyway, I said Matthew said hello all, and then Mikey got squirreled by the post.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we all
And
had
without
to
a
wait.
modman here to help him.
And doesn't trust us with a comment, so we can't help him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's sad, really.
yeah.
Mm.
There you go.
Sad.
Oh, there we go. Gary Markham coming up. Oh, yes. Annyeonghaseyo, people. BBC Party Central. Ha, 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 ha. Yeah. Good for you, Gary.
Duke's in is saying, good day, all you beautiful people. Are we all about to get furious?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you did there, Duke.
Yes. Just
Ooh.
Ooh.
Hurrah.
It's a
Hurrah
heavier
and
box than I
huzzah.
imagined.
has it got a weight in it? Probably got weight in it.
No, it doesn't.
No,
Mine didn't. Didn't get weight in mine.
it's just a big ass kit.
Oh, I think Gary's got a weight in his because he hasn't got one yet.
It's a big ass tank.
Well,
That's body shaming.
there's going to be even more. See, what John doesn't know is that us three in the UK are going to have some extras. Because I've been having a chat with Columbus Models, aka Callum,
Yeah.
and he's squaring me away with the. He's going to do the designs for some 88mm shells, and he's going to try and do the gun barrel as well, so that we can 3D
Oh,
print them.
wow.
Okay, well, so much
Wow.
for AUKUS then. Okay. Oh, he's not part of AUKUS. Yeah. Let's see what happens there.
But if you do, you know anyone that can 3D print parts, John?
Yeah.
Are you prepared to send them to him, Gary?
Of course I am.
All right, there you go. You can have some too.
Yay.
You can all have some extras.
I even have his address.
Courtesy of
Taped
my
to
negotiating.
shelf here.
Everybody looks under their seat. Everyone gets a car. You get a car. You get a car. You get a.
There you go. Liquid chrome metal from Green Stuff World.
Oh, very nice.
Okay.
NATO brown and NATO green, and I don't know what the other parcel is.
Ooh. Now, is that
That's Mikey's comment there.
that's Mikey's comment? Yeah, but he's squirreled at the moment.
GM says, "Good day, Duke. Joyous, partious, and furious." Yeah.
And Duke says, "Good to hear, Gary."
And Gary says, been partying all Arvo here in the studios. Friday. Woohoo.
Friday,
Oh, good man.
Poets Day.
Yep. There you go.
I took the words.
Right. Yes. So yeah, Bob says Friday is Poets' Day.
And he also says, "Push off early. Tomorrow's Saturday."
That's not how I know Poets Day.
Well,
That's
pushing
the
off early.
polite version.
Oh,
Yeah. It's in one of the dialects that it's
yeah,
pushed.
yeah.
And he's actually put that as well.
Possibly one of the
Yeah.
northern
Please don't.
dialects.
Please note polite version of first word.
Yeah. Very good.
Okay. I
don't
don't
know what-
remember ordering this.
What is it? It's a book.
Player's Guide to Actum Cthulhu, which is a game we're going to be playing with M4H.
Ooh.
Okay.
They're not cheap books, they're like 50 quid. Who the hell sent me that? Because there's only Malcolm and Si that know we're playing it.
Oh.
I've got a feeling Malcolm's ordered this.
Well,
Hang
To
on,
quote-
it's underneath.
to quote Toya Wilcox, it's a mystery. Welcome to today's modelling show, where we watch Mikey undo his post.
Look at the
Figure out
box.
But that is really cool. I've got a feeling Malcolm's ordered it
Woo!
because
That's very cool.
underneath there's an address scribbled out, and Malcolm knows my address, whereas Cy doesn't. So I shall be having words with Mr. Childs.
Right.
Well, that is cool.
Nice.
Right. So whose turn was it?
We're up to Red
think
Gary.
Red Gary, yeah.
Red Gary.
Red Gary.
Right.
No. Hello, Bobby. Got a poem then, lol, from Gary.
David says morning, afternoon, and evening all.
GM says hello. I get the nice short ones.
And David says, weather here today, 19 and dry but muggy. It's bleeding warm here. It's going to get to
Not here.
26.
Overcast but dry here from GM.
Oh, evening all, says New Zealand.
Ah,
Hey, Callum.
Columbus, I've just subscribed
All
to
of
your YouTube and Instagram because
Yes,
I realised I hadn't.
Did you realise, wait, Rose, that he has a new YouTube channel as well? It's called Duds
Who
of
does?
War. Callum.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's
cool.
called Duds of
I'll have
War,
a look at
and
that.
they look at weapons that were designed and were complete failures and discuss them.
Excellent.
So that'd be interesting.
Yeah. British ones quite heavily feature, I suspect.
Yeah, the first episode was about French machine gun, I think.
Oh, right.
I haven't had a chance to listen to it properly yet. So it was my turn, was it? So good morrow, one and all. Where are we behaving today? Are we speaking
Of course
English?
not.
No.
Jim says, Guten Tag.
Oh, I should be answering that now. I've been to Germany. Guten Tag, wie geht's Ihnen?
What the hell? What's going on?
Well,
What is
well,
going on?
holy moly, indeed, is what's going on. Holy moly,
Yeah.
7 months.
What are
Yeah.
you doing? Oh, see, Tiffers goes away for one day.
No, I was clicking on it and it was just going back off again. It was weird.
Yeah. GM says, Bobby, nah.
God bless you, Governor.
Cool, bless you. Cool, blimey, strike light. It's you, Mikey.
Jim says hello to all the usual suspects in chat.
Bob says, Gary, good in Scottish accent.
Good.
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 Hey. Hey,
Joe Leals here. Good morning, afternoon, evening to all. How you doing, Joe?
How you doing, Joe?
GM says, G-Day, Jim.
Is that like a Korean B-Day?
Why not?
It's you, Mikey.
Jim says hello to our gracious hosts. It is.
And Jim also says, hello, Gary Markham.
Duke Wellington said, John, you sound like you're in a bucket.
Hopefully not anymore. Oh, and GM said John's underwater. Yeah. I'm fixed now,
Jim
yeah?
says, I see the official Gary Stuff Halo is ready to go.
And ENLSN 77, whoever that is,
That's
says,
Ian Ellis.
hey? Oh,
Ian
is that
Ellis.
Ian?
Yeah,
He's changed his handle.
you have.
Hello,
No, they're
everyone
all
on panel.
all
And
ads
Tiff.
today.
Good morning, Jim. Hello, Ian.
Do you not recognise the motorbike on the picture?
Oh,
Is there a,
do now.
oh, yeah, there is a motorbike, yeah.
Do you want to put your magnifiers on, Gary?
The picture is so small.
Bob, you're all in Teletubbies costume colours, I believe. Yes, we are. I can't remember
Oh,
what they're
yeah.
all called, though, so I don't know. I don't really want to know. Because whatever one I'll be is probably going to be
As
really
long as
offensive.
I'm not Poe.
Now, if I remember correctly from when I was younger,
There was
it's
wasn't there a purple one?
Tinky Winky, Dipsy, Lala, and Poe. Red.
That's kind of where I was imagining things would go.
So, Tinky Winky, Dipsy. So Little Willy, Giddy Bitch, Lala, and Poe. John's
There you
Tinky
go.
Winky.
I don't know why I'm wearing this microphone still.
And Graham Markham says, which one has the handbag then?
That
The
was
handbag.
That's the purple one, I think, which is I don't know. No idea. Jeff, but he's asleep.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Lady
it's Tinky
Bracknell,
Winky,
wasn't
Dipsy, La La, and Poe. There's only 4 of them. And I got a feeling it was Dipsy. No, it was Tinky Winky, actually.
I don't really care.
No, let's move on, shall we?
This is the
I'll
joy.
go. Julian says, morning all. District nurse due in a mo and carer at 1:30, so won't be here much today. Right.
So now that we've changed the
This has
order,
buggered everything up.
fits well in the box. Cool. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's me. David says, good morning, Gary, John, and Mikey. Or now it's John and Gary, Mikey and Gary.
And Gary Markham says, hello, David.
Hello.
Julian says, Mikey, are you sure getting early was a phrase given the subject at the time was the big boy?
And Graham goes in. He says, after all, afternoon all, welcome back, Mr. Evans.
Thank you, Graham. Thank you so much.
Aussie Ian's in. He says, happy Friday all.
Right, so have we reversed direction now?
Hobby time says,
It's another part of the game you didn't tell me about. You reverse clockwise, anti-clockwise at random, then start swapping things around.
I have no idea what's going on.
That's because we look
This
like
is
Uno
the
cards now.
professionalism I've missed for 3 weeks, isn't it?
Uno reverse card.
Yeah.
Do you know, when we were away, we made friends with a brilliant couple of people. One of whom, the woman, is a TV director. She does like sports and stuff like that for big companies. So she'd be going absolutely mental if you start flipping screens across. Camera 5, put camera 5 in the top left. Absolutely bonkers.
So who were we up to? Was it John?
I have no idea.
We'll start with John.
Hobby
given
time.
up.
Yeah, how come they're all ats today, Mikey? Have we done something weird?
Well, you
I
choose.
don't know.
I suspect YouTube has.
Hobby time says afternoon, guys. And he says, hi, Jim. I'll do two for one.
2 for.
Jim says, hello, hobby time.
And
Right, so
Ian
is it now
says,
me, or is it up
John's got the blue poster on the wall. Oh,
You're breaking the circle, you git.
Who?
On the square. You. It
I
goes in
followed
now.
you.
Yeah, me. I'm in the then Gary, and then up to you.
Oh yeah, with the original.
God, you just can't get the staff, can you?
No, he's played another reverse Uno card, so we're back the normal way now.
Can I just build me Sea Fury?
Okay, so now it's at Waitrose.
All right, Julian. Afternoon, needy angelic host, Chef Force One, Commander Evans. Evening, John. Chef Force One.
Smoked ale, how posh.
It was very nice, though, I have to say.
Yeah, you got to change the caption though, Mikey.
Paul Price says evening all.
Hello.
And Gary Markham says burnt hops.
During Teletubbies were elves once taken by the dark side.
Oh, I'm fine.
Black Hat says, dang, I missed the start of the stream. Howdy, folks.
You haven't missed
Didn't
much.
miss much. Haven't missed anything apart from total chaos as usual.
Oh,
What's
Julian
fair?
says that's his. That's vinegar stroke face. You know this. How do you know this, Mikey? Actually, never mind. I don't want to know.
Well, there's no other reason to make a face like that.
Jim says hello, Black Hat.
A face even a mother couldn't love.
Paul Tanks has just got out of the A&E. Oh my goodness! Taken in at 11:30 last night. Had a TIA. Paul, hope you're getting okay, man.
Yeah.
Hope you're doing
Getting
over that.
Do you mean a transient ischemic attack, or do you mean a thanks in advance?
I think he means a trans-ischemic attack.
A&E, I think the former.
Just take it easy, mate.
Yeah.
Do what
Unless
you're told.
A&E is art and entertainment, but I think it's accident emergency. Yeah, doesn't
Put your
sound
feet
good.
up.
Yeah. Benji
Hello,
says
Benji.
get well soon.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
hope you're feeling better soon, mate.
Ian Ellison says, morning, Julian. Your daily visitors are inconsiderate with their timing.
Does he mean the postman?
Oh, Julian says they are indeed, Ian.
Come back, modders. And Jim says to Ian, hello and happy Friday to you.
We're having fun, aren't we?
Yeah, June says 40 years since Live Aid. Well, I wasn't feeling old. Yeah.
Hey, oh.
Ian says, why has it changed? What the F?
Yeah, just all the ampersands at the ats in the names. It's Jim says, hello, Paul. A happy Friday night to y'all. Y'all.
Paul says 1990. Paul has just become a YouTube member. Way!
Thank you very much, buddy.
Well done, Paul.
What the hell was that? Playing your trombone, I see.
Yes. Paul says, evening, Jim.
Ian says, evening, Paul.
Dave's in saying, hello, panel and chat.
Phil says, hi all, just popped in to say hi and see what's happening with the builds. Well, I'd like to know what's
You're
happening
going to
with
find
the
out
builds.
for another
Yeah,
half hour at
the way
least.
things are going, we're going to be doing this rubbish.
Paul's saying good evening to Ian.
Jim saying, Mikey, that tank is wheel chock shaped. 2 more, and I would have had a set for the Learjet.
Jim says, to all that will embark on the Tamiya Jagdpanther build, you will enjoy it. A good kit to build. Even the rubber band tracks glue together easily and look the part.
I'm going to look for some 3D printed tracks for it.
They could go with the 3D printed shells and gun barrel.
Could do if I can find some. Graham says opening a parcel without knowing what it is on a live stream. That's bad.
Well, could be Ann Summers. You never know.
Yeah.
Small point might make it easier. The Jagdpanther tracks. The Jagdpanther tracks.
Leave my small point out of this.
Okay. The Jagdpanther tracks were the same ones as the Mark IV Panther.
Right, because I saw Tamiya individual tracks today, but it says they don't fit kit number blah Jagdpanther, which is the 1972 issue of the Jagdpanther and not this one. But it doesn't say in the box whether they do fit this one, so I haven't committed yet. But then again, I think I should do it out of box because I think that's what we're doing here. I don't know, maybe not. We'll see.
I don't know.
I don't know. He says standing up.
I don't know.
Panther.
Jim says, welcome, Corporal Price.
Gary's just farting.
No, Gary's like, get on with it. I want to build.
And I'm beneath him. Oh, that's good.
Drop on you from a great height. Julian says, joke girl gets in lift, says to a guy, TGIF. He says, shit. She gets cross and repeats TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. He replies, SHIT. Sorry, honey, it's Thursday. Very good.
Paul says, thanks, Jim. It's only money.
Yeah,
And Julian says, Mikey, is your middle name Bob? Lol.
No, it's Paul. My daughter asked me that yesterday.
Jim says, 2 people in a lift, 1 breaks wind. Everyone knows who did it.
Julie says, BBL district nurse here. Behave while I'm gone. You behave while she's there.
Yeah, you behave while she's there. Yeah. Did Nurse Gladys Emmanuel?
Oh.
Paul says, just a heads up, Jim, the Frankenstang is almost ready to paint.
Yay.
Ready for paint. Very good.
And Jim says, excellent, Paul. Look forward to seeing it.
Paul says, only on the 15th coat of primer, trying to get the panels smooth. 15.
Jim says, "Is this you, Ian?"
Right.
Joe says, looks like I'll be building stuff all next week. Weather forecast is heavy rain for the next 7 to 8 days.
Not here.
We'll bring the temperature down a bit. Hopefully.
You got to do Teletubby noises now, Gary.
I don't know what Teletubby noises are.
He's telling
Correct
you.
answer.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I have
We are
kids,
slightly,
okay?
we are slightly too old for Teletubbies, I suspect.
Apparently.
Jim says, only now I recognise the avatar image, Ian. Must be the bike.
Kevin says, "Good day to everyone." Hello, Kevin.
Hey, Kevin.
Ian says, "'Tis I, Jim. I don't know why it's changed." Hey, Mikey.
Everyone does, for some reason.
And Joe says, found accurate miniatures P51A Mustang at a local hobby shop in New Orleans that I will give a go.
Ooh,
Cool.
cool.
Orleans. Hang on, Blinkson, you've changed positions on the screen, says Paul. Yes, we did.
Hang on, he's changed pictures as well. He's a car now. He was a plane. Jim says, the on-screen chaos shows the importance of leadership and guidance Modders provides.
Absolutely.
David
The
says, take care,
responsible
Paul.
adult.
Be well.
Yeah, be well, Paul.
Absolutely.
Paul says, thanks, guys. I passed muster, just had a bit of a wobble.
Okay.
As someone who's had various number of TIAs and 2 full-blown strokes, take it easy.
I'm glad you said that, and you just didn't just say, as a guy who's had multiple strokes.
Trying to be supportive here.
Yes, but we don't do fluffy stuff, you know that.
Jim says World War II German track links are as varied and confusing as everything else they made.
Yeah.
That's encouraging.
Tim says, "G'day, fellas. Hope you're all well." Hey, Timmy.
Today.
Timmy. Paul says, if you suck at playing the trumpet, it could be why. That's good.
And Gary says, you forgot the Tomley Boos, the Ninky and Ninky Nonk in the Night Garden.
Yeah.
Now I do know the in the Night Garden because my granddaughter was, my eldest granddaughter was a baby when In the Night Garden came on, so I know all about.
Is that the one you took to Sausage Fest?
Yeah.
Thought so.
Yeah. That's Mary Jane knows all about Upsy Daisy and Tinky Winky. No, Tinky Winky's a Teletubby, isn't he? I can't remember him now.
Oh my good God. Anyway, Bob says, I was trying to change my image and having problems. Hope I haven't killed YouTube.
No, it looks good, mate. If you look on Discord, guys, Bob's name is now actually Strand Beast Bob.
Right.
Custodian of the Beasts.
Yes. And we have 25 people watching. Don't forget to lube and subscribe, people.
25 people watching this read out comments.
35 minutes of comments.
Jesus.
Right. There we are. Alrighty. Sea Fury.
Yeah. I've read
Sea
that one.
Fury.
Right, Sea Fury. Yeah.
Are we
saying
still
that,
building one?
it's only took us 35 minutes, so that's not bad. We usually spend about half an hour chatting and shit and going through chat anyway.
True.
Right. Let's.
You mean that means we've got to do another half hour of chatting about shit and.
Oh, that's looking good, Gary.
Thank you.
Oh, I say. Are you going now?
That's the prop done.
Right.
That's done.
I
Done
don't.
the sides, and I think I'm going to decal things today.
Cool.
Decal, whatever they call them.
Decal.
Stickers.
Sounds like a Latin class.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do some horizontal stuff. Oh, ailerons.
Oh,
Ailerons. Righto. B6 and 5. Those ones.
Don't think Marion's having a good day.
Have you
She's
seen
just
what
said to me,
Julie's just pasted?
she's
Sorry,
just
go on.
said to me, she's just said to me, "Are you coming down for lunch?" I said, "I'm live." She said, "What, on a Saturday?"
Ah.
I said,
Oh, dear.
It's Friday.
Have you seen what Julian posted before on Facebook?
No, I haven't.
It says, "Who the hell designed this form?" It's a screenshot of an online death certificate request, and it says, the person listed on the death certificate is myself or someone else."
Wow.
Oh,
Well,
dear.
what can you say?
I think that is off Malcolm, that book, because we were talking the other day, and I was saying that the YouTube videos, the people that explain it on YouTube, don't explain it very well, because they try to fit about 3 hours of information into 10 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, and they just constantly talk about mechanics and things like that. And it's like, oh. But yeah.
Bloody hell.
Very good.
So if it is you, Malcolm, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, buddy.
I don't know what I can do.
GM says, think that's strange, Bob. He says, strange beast. Jim says, Joe, Accurate Miniatures, original boxing with the mid-90s, are the best quality because the molds were new. And Paul says, I change picks just to upset EV drivers. Good man. I like it. I like your style. Right. Ooh, Ian says, Sea Fury, I messed up my silvering of the exhaust fuselage guard plate with the chrome pen. It looks awful. Oh. Oh
Needs
dear.
to paint over again.
Yeah. I need to put some zinc chromate in there.
Zinc chromate. Steady on. Just bear in mind, we've got somebody who's recovering from a TIA. You start doing things like that, he'll think he's having another one.
Yeah. I'm more concerned about who might be watching. Youngsters are maybe watching, thinking about it. There you go. It's only going to be the rear wheel base, so it doesn't have to be spot on. Because how are they going to see any of it? Joe says, yes, Jim, it looks great.
Wait.
So I am representing Models for Heroes this weekend at the Armed Forces Day in Telford.
Are you?
Yes.
Well done, you.
In your mankini?
No, I shall be in full Friends of Models for Heroes uniform. Because my Models for Heroes t-shirt is too small for me.
Mine's too big for me. But it means it's comfy.
Yeah. So if anybody's in the Telford area, come down to Broad Oaks Park, down by Donington Aldi, 11 till 4 on Sunday.
Mate, it's Telford. The only people you're going to get down there are the crackheads.
There will be a helicopter from Royal Air Force Shawbury in attendance all day.
Is it going to hover because it'll have lost its wheels by the time it landed?
It lands in the park. It doesn't have wheels, it has skids.
It depends on what helicopter it is.
It's well, I was going to say a squirrel, but they don't call them squirrels anymore. They're different.
Oh, Eurocopter things.
Eurocopter things now.
Yeah, that's got skid marks.
Gone are the days when we had things like Wessex real helicopters.
Yeah.
But hey, it does its job.
Yeah.
Training future heliflopter pilots.
Yeah.
Hmm.
GM says exhaust plate is polished item. It also moves forward and aft to control airflow through the engine. I used tinfoil to cover the plate as it was easier. Ah.
Oh,
Interesting
Every
idea.
day is a school day.
Yeah. It is indeed.
Oh, indeedy.
Yeah. I like that. That's cool.
What colour?
Wah, 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 wah. Butter?
what colour?
It's all right. I have sorted it.
So
Ew.
sauteed it.
Sauteed it, yes.
Yeah.
Lightly on a low heat.
Yeah.
It's better than flambe.
So what are you doing there, Wait Rose?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm putting some decks onto the propellers, man.
Ah.
That's what I was doing.
That is doing.
You are well ahead of us.
Yeah,
I
bear in mind, he rushed ahead because he was going on his Ollibobs.
Yeah.
I did, and I didn't do whatever other things and whatever. So as soon as I knew this was happening, I cracked on like a chap, and yeah, here it is.
So part E12 goes into part E2 and is glued in place.
It sounds like paint by numbers, doesn't it?
So what step are you on there, Gary?
I'm trying to work out part 61, and for some reason, I don't know whether it's my FND or whatever it is. I'm having an issue trying to work out what I'm supposed to be doing here, and it's quite a simple thing. So part E12 goes into part E2.
Sorry, which step are we on?
61.
61.
We'll get there eventually.
Oh. Ah,
Right.
prop, of course.
And E2 doesn't. Right. I think I get it. E12 goes into E2 but doesn't get glued, and then E3 goes over the top of it and it gets glued to E3. So it'll spin.
It looks to me that, yeah, the glue wouldn't. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm
Then
going to
again-
leave the undercarriage off for now.
I think I would stick E12 through E2
Yeah.
and then slide E3 on and then touch the hub of E3 with extra thin.
Yeah. 'Cause I don't care if it doesn't spin anyway. to be
No,
honest.
of course. Okay, so I'm doing a folded wing option. So I'm missing some steps here. So I'll jump forward a tad.
Okay.
Nor am I putting stores on mine. So I'm going to go to 39.
Yeah, I'm going to leave the undercarriage off mine because I want to spray it first before I put it together.
Oh yeah, I'm not putting my undercarriage on till the end.
Yeah, because if you look there,
I will knock it all off.
they're almost back to back as well. When the bits that fold inwards. So might as well spray them off. Camera. So yeah, doing munitions is first job, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to do some rockets. We were having a discussion before we went live because you can get a choice of drop tanks, bombs, or rockets. So I'm going to do rockets on mine. But I did have a question, chaps. Parts, stages 64, 65, and 66.
Yes.
What the bloody hell's that?
That is a RATO.
A what?
Rocket,
Oh, right,
rocket,
like a NATO thing.
RATO,
Yeah,
rocket assisted takeoff.
Oh, right.
So-
Right. I don't know whether to put that on. It goes on mine.
It
Anyway.
goes on that one.
Yeah. Okay.
Should you want it?
It's going on.
Okay.
Rato. I didn't think of that.
It's because British aircraft carriers are so small and their catapults so weedy that unless you had a significant over deck wind, these things just wouldn't get off with maximum load in time. So they gave them rockets to assist them.
Yeah, I always like watching the Blue Angels Fat Albert doing its JATO assisted takeoff. Goes up like a bloody rocket.
And they'd obviously learnt the lesson from the Seafire 47 by putting all the rockets on the centre line rather than a pack over each wing, because if you get one side firing and the other side not firing, things are very, very interesting on takeoff. especially with in the case of the 47, even with the counter-rotating props, you've got quite a lot of steering from the mass of the engine rotating. So you give it a boot full of rudder to oppose that, then one of your rocket sets don't light, you're in big trouble.
Keeps Biggles busy.
Big trouble. Yeah, it does. Yeah, concentrates the mind, makes them earn their pay.
Yeah.
Waiting the seat.
Yeah, and no ejection seats as well. That was the other thing.
Oh, come on, stupid thing. Right. Okay.
I remember talking to my dad about when they used to chuck these things over the side, because when they were badly damaged, they used to throw them away and just get new ones delivered, basically, because it was easier. And he said they always used to have like a set of people there to push things over the side with a senior hand at the wheels and the brakes and all that. And he said it was always a race for the senior hand with a screwdriver to see whether they can get the clock out of the instrument panel before the whole thing went over, because they were highly collectible and highly barterable items. Would be an aircraft's clock. So the only thing they ever used to manage to salvage was the clocks for a bit of underhand dealing here and there.
Jim says heatwave continues. Thunderstorms and thickened humidity will be the order of the day in Chicagoland area. Yeah. Ian says foil, cool idea. GM, wish I'd thought of that. Julian's back. Paul says welcome back, Julian. Okay. Paul Price, and now Paul Tanker says all my passwords are protected by my old age. GM says the Bristol Centaurus engines throw out copious amounts of oil. You can gloss coat outwards on the upper wing to simulate wet oil spray. Yes, you will fall off the wing if you slip. Yeah. So what I might do is put the munitions and stuff on, and then just spray it all in one go, and then obviously spray the bits like the undercarriage and stuff separate. Oh, come on, mouse! What the hell is going wrong with you? You're a bloody mouse map, for Christ's sake. There we go. Julian says, Skulls, bloody hell, take it easy, Paul. Ian says, Jim, back to winter spring temperatures here. Grey, windy, drizzly, and lukewarm temperatures. Yeah.
Apparently Monday it's going to be 33 degrees here.
Jeez. Sod that.
I will be walking the dog at 05:30 again.
Paul Price says, I can't remember my passwords either, Paul.
I'm terrible.
Columbus says, what rockets are supplied? If they only have the bulbous RP-3HE warheads, I designed the other day the RP-3 rocket with AP warhead if you want to be different.
Ooh, so it's got RP-3s. What else we got? A 500-pound leaflet bomb, a 500-pound general purpose bomb, and 2 styles of drop tanks. Quite a lot of ordnance, really. I think it's a good fit.
Yeah, but you're going to have a lot left over because
that just goes in the Greeblies box, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Paul says, Julian, thanks, mate. Her and does is making sure I do.
Yeah.
Good.
GM says,
go
sorry,
on.
go on.
No, go on.
Go on.
I was just going to say,
No,
Paul,
you hang up.
don't be afraid to let people help you.
Yes. GM says, Dad said those Rato rocket units would fire as soon as you put the fuselage into the fuselage box. Oh.
Sounds right. Yeah.
Julian says, Paul, do what she says. Paul Price says, Heatwave, harden up, Jim. GM says, I have a compass from a Sea Fury. Ooh, cool.
Excellent.
Right.
Sandra Clarkson, she says, hello, everyone. Hello, Sandra.
Hello,
Welcome back.
Sandra.
Hey, Sandra.
And Paul Price says, evening, Sandra. There we go. I think I'm going to have to leave my mouse on the left-hand side instead of the right-hand side. It seems to work better. Might actually get something done today. John.
No. I'm just copying Gary. Talk to him.
Yeah, Gary.
You're Gary. Bad influence.
Yeah, Gary. Oh, I'm Gary, aren't I?
Yeah, you didn't define which Gary. So
That's because when I mean the other Gary, I say Waitrose.
He says, "Sir."
could have been GM
Yes, son.
you were talking about.
When I mean
Son.
the other Gary, I say
Yes, son.
Bryce Norton.
Yeah.
Harsh. But again, as I said the other day, that's news that did not make it to Australia.
Yeah, as well.
There's a reason it didn't make it to Australia. It wasn't exactly the highlight of the British forces, was it?
Well, the news did make it to a part of Australia where a very dear friend of mine, former comrade, now lives. And I'm surprised you couldn't hear the screams of anguish and anger. A, in Australia, and B, all the way over here. He was not a happy bunny. As indeed, neither was I.
Have they located them?
No.
But the regiment, no, they've gone into hiding out of shame.
They're hiding behind a napkin.
I don't even know what squadron it was that's responsible for.
I don't even
whoever
know
it-
what if there's a is there a regiment squadron at Bryce?
There's a
I
regiment
don't
squadron.
think there are any regiment squadrons anywhere anymore.
Yeah.
The
I
detachments,
don't
aren't
think
they?
they deserve to be.
Well, you know,
It reminds me of that episode of Sharp where Wellington says, I will make them a series of detachments. If I wipe the
Yes.
name, I may wipe the shame.
Battalion of detachments, absolutely. Absolutely what they deserve, frankly. Still.
the thing is,
Go on.
you never ever will get the full story from
No.
Oh, no.
from the press.
Oh,
So,
God, no.
So you won't get the full story from the MOD. You know what they're like. We all know what they're like.
Wonder who I can ask.
Yeah.
Wonder if there's someone I can find out all this from. I'm intrigued now. I'm very happy with my first go at the stripy bit on though, however.
Oh, that's
Very happy.
nice.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Oh,
And
do
of
like
course,
that.
this being Airfix, of course, there's a little vent piece here at the back of the, you've got the
Yeah.
actual metal bit, and then there's a little vent piece here.
Yeah.
And of course, the decal goes straight over that. It's not
Yeah.
cut there, so I had to cut that.
It's a
Of
slow.
course, there isn't. I mean, they do it for the fin, but not for the vent at the front.
Yeah.
So thanks for that piece of design there. But otherwise, it does look rather nice,
It does.
rather spiffing. Maybe we should paint
What-
all our
what?
aircraft like that.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, the other
somebody-
fun facts I found out the other day.
they
Right.
did want to
The
paint
other
all your
fun
aircraft red.
Yeah. The other thing I saw, someone pointed out the other day,
Yep.
these F-35As we've bought? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, our our in-flight refueling is all Drogan probe.
Yeah,
So we don't have any air refueling assets that will work with the F-35A.
I can
So
see
that
us
we've just bought
buying a
12
couple
off.
of I can see us buying a couple or leasing a couple of KC-46s off the Americans.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, they got to replace the Voyagers somehow, haven't
Isn't that brilliant? So you buy a combat aircraft that you actually don't have any means of refueling.
Well, to be fair,
done.
they're only buying it for the nuclear deterrent, so it's only going to be a one-way trip anyway.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to have anywhere to land afterwards, are they?
Now, after
Which
that
would
last
have been-
comment, they're not going to find any pilots to fly it.
Which would have been useful to have the F-35B, I suppose, in that case, because that will own pretty much anywhere
Well, yeah.
on the smoking ruins of anything.
Yeah. The smouldering remains of 1,000 people. Julian says, "Hi, Sandra," with a wink. I'm only joking.
With a wink. You keep
I would imagine the Air Force will do what they did with the or the MOD will do what they did when we got the C-17s, because they're only
Least,
sort
aren't they?
leased from the
I got to
Americans.
ride in one of them. It was awesome.
You got a ride in one?
I got to ride in a C-17. We flew to Gibraltar in one.
Nice.
They are huge. Because it was only our battalion in it as well.
Yeah. I'm a Herc man myself, but I'd rather fly in a C-17. Thank you very much.
Yes.
The leg room. Don't
It's a
sit
lot
the wheel well.
Get
It's a
me,
lot more
me in a
comfortable.
put me in a C-130 any day of the week.
See, we flew there in a C-17 and we flew back into two C-130s.
Mm.
And I'd say the C-17 is better because you can actually get your DOS bag out and they switch the underfloor heat on. You can just lie on the floor and sleep.
Not in Australia, you can't. They do not let you.
That's because our Australians probably still got, I don't know, propellers stuck to them or something. They are about
Our
30 years behind.
C-17s, are C-17s sealed, like pressure sealed,
Oh yeah.
or do they have to fly low? Like
No. Oh no, they
because
get up high.
Hercs can't do that, can they?
Yeah, they're pressurized.
And you can't really
ours never
stretch
worked.
out unless you're on the loading ramp of a Herc.
All right.
They were pressurized.
Were they really?
Yeah.
I never. Every time I've flown in one, it was. Any time we went over 12,000, we had to use oxygen.
Really?
Every
Because
single time.
That's weird.
I've been in a Herc at 25,000 feet and there was no oxygen on then.
Because they were
Yeah.
trying to
Alright.
just sort
No,
of
they're
make
trying
you
to
black
kill
out.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, don't forget, most of the time when Weight Rose was in the back of a Herc, he was usually jumping out of it midair.
Oh yeah, there's a big hole at the back eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
Or at the sides. Normally the sides rather than the back. But
Yeah, it kind of
It goes for
spoiled
back
the
ramp.
whole pressurization thing, doesn't it?
yeah. Back ramp was more fun to jump off, but mostly the sides.
Oh, James said not fuselage, bloody spell checker. Callum says, during the war, my great uncle's dad and friend was tasked with guarding a captured U-boat from Allied soldiers from looting it. He walked away with the ship's clock, which is still in the family. Well done.
Brilliant. Good
You
effort.
can just imagine some bloody soldier or sailor walking out with a bloody grandfather clock under his arm or something. A big brass clock. Paul Price says, Gary Stuff, your bench is empty, just letting you know.
Yeah, it is because I'm doing all of this and I have to have it close to me to get it all lined up. And yes,
GM says,
my bench is empty.
GM says, Sea Fury altimeter sender unit was also highly prized. The units failed due to harsh vibrations from the guns firing.
Well, it's like anything on an F-35.
Sandra says, have any of you ever built a model of Concorde? I still think that's the most beautiful aircraft I've ever seen. I wouldn't mind. I mean, I wouldn't particularly like to paint it white, but
I don't think the kit's
Built one.
particularly good, but I have not built one.
No, it's not. It's rubbish. It's a terrible kit, frankly. It's a
But
pity.
it is.
Well, no, sorry. The FX one is I haven't built anyone else's kits, like the Revell one or anything like that, or the Hele one. But the FX one is very old, and the fit is appalling, and it takes a lot of work to get a decent result out of it. But there we go. Just
Hey,
my humble opinion. I
Here's a
did
very
build
quick,
one for the channel.
very quick Herc lesson. All right. So on the side, this is the co-pilot side of the aircraft. You got
Yeah.
the thing there. Let me focus that there. A little shark skills thing there. That's a cabin pressure out of.
Okay.
It sits. Yeah, that's a 245 bulkhead there. So it sits underneath what would be the navigator desk if the J models had one. Cabin pressure outlet valve, and the emergency cabin pressure relief valve is under the rear door. It's that little dot there.
Okay.
So that's the other one failed. Yeah, but they maintain cabin pressure hopefully below 10,000 feet, but there's a differential pressure. Cabin pressure is, it's like, it's how hard you blow up a balloon. Depends on what altitude you're at.
Yes, fair enough.
We've got 26 people watching and 18 likes so far. So cool.
Yeah. Leave and subscribe, people.
Yeah. Ian Ellison, make sure you haven't forgotten this time. For those that don't know, I'm not just bullying him into liking the stream. Whenever we say it in a stream, he always goes, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that." So it's just his daily reminder. Hobby Time says that's the British government for you guys. Yeah, but shh, we don't mention them on here. They're all crazy. Paul Tanker says my uncle Ray was on the HMS Triumph in Korea.
Right.
He was an aircraft mechanic working on the Fury.
If he was on HMS Triumph in Korea, he wasn't working on the Fury. He was working on the Seafire or the ferry, not the Fulmer, the other one.
Skua?
Firefly Mark 1. HMS Triumph had 800 Squadron, which was the Seafire 47, 827 Squadron, which was the Firefly Mark 1.
So what you're saying is your dad and his Uncle Ray work together?
They're on the same ship. If it's on Triumph in Korea, they were on the same ship. They were shipmates, absolutely.
There we go. Small world.
There are very, very few of them around, I have to say.
My step granddad was on HMS Gambia, but he didn't go to Korea or anything.
Not a career sailor?
No.
Oh. Ryan Stewart was on Ark Royal.
See what you did there.
Yes. I chose to glance over it because it was a dad joke. Julie says, who in the hell designs a form for a death certificate request giving options that the form is for myself or for someone else? We've gone up to 28. Black Hat says, you haven't lived until you've flown in a caribou.
That's true. Great view.
Julie says, nobody has died. I just posted it on Facebook. GM says, ceiling limit in a Herc is 35,000 feet, 28,000 normal cruise, 16,000 with full load. Oxygen used above 12,000. There we go.
Well, you see, if you're on your oxygen above 12,000, it can't be fully pressurized, presumably.
Well, okay.
It depends on the mission, I guess, as well. Maybe if a ferry mission or something, you could do it because you're not going to open the door. But if you're planning on opening the doors at any time, that might be an issue.
Because if it's pressurized and it operates at 35,000, the oxygen, they'd probably put it on if they were going to be opening the doors mid-flight or something, wouldn't they? Like for a jump or something, like a halo.
Oh, totally. Yeah. There's loads of oxygen outlets all along the inside.
No, there's only 8, and it's only for crew.
We had loads. Thousands of them.
It's Australian. What it is, they're Australian Air Force. They haven't caught up with the rest of the world yet.
Oh, right.
And a big shout out to everyone in Australia. Let me say the first foreign sales for the C-130 Hercules after the US.
and the first people to get the J model. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
There we go. But the rest of the wheel's on the A400 now, so
We can't do half the stuff the Herc did.
yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah,
But it does have a bigger load capacity.
Yeah.
That's what
you can't carry it that far.
TBG says, hi, everyone. Hi, TBG.
Hello, TBG.
Hey, TBG.
GM says, John is correct on cabin pressures.
There we go. Well done, John.
TBG says, what's your undead, Julian? Oh, what? You're not dead, Julian. Oh, you're not undead. Yeah, there we go. Graham's in. He says, have a fun time, guys. Back to work. All right, buddy. Thanks for popping on.
I'm having trouble fitting these. I'm just testing the wing fold mechanism, and
Yes.
I'm having trouble getting the wing on.
Yeah, I struggled with it when I was testing it. Problem is now I have to do the wing fold because I can't take the wing back apart.
Yeah. Why doesn't it fit?
Because it's a really awkward angle. The top of the inboard section of the wing is in the way of the top of the outboard section.
I don't know. I got it.
It just sort of sits on top.
It just balances there. I thought it would be more of a positive fit. It's not. It just sits there. That's okay.
Yeah,
It'll be good.
Dorksaurus says, hello, good peoples. Hello,
Dorksaurus.
We're nearly over. Isn't it nearly time?
Columbus says, I'm building a Seafire 47 for my podcast group build, currently on the reference finding stage. Speak to Waitrose. He'll have lots of information, I imagine.
Yeah, don't make it too dirty.
There you go.
They were nice and clean. Even on full service, they were nice and clean.
So if he has your email, would he be able to contact you about it, Gary?
Absolutely, totally. Yeah. Absolutely.
Awesome.
I can pass on whatever my late father told me that I can still remember about it with great joy.
He can either email you or you're both on the Discord server as well, so you can do it that way.
Yep. Yeah, sure.
Paul Price says, evening Dorker. TBG says, I've sat in a Sea Fury at Yeovil, the Navy Wings one. Ooh.
Nice.
Julian says, not last time I checked TBG. DN district nurse did my obs not half an hour ago, and I wasn't dead then, and I'm still not now.
Fair enough.
GM says, can use either pressure or not. There we go.
Yeah.
RR Davis says, good evening, gentlemen. Hello, RR Davis.
Hello, mate.
Is that a fire
Hello.
truck in the background of your picture? Looks like a fire truck.
And the channel is a third mode of constant pressure.
Julian says, afternoon, Dorkosaurus. Ian says, my granddad was the opposite of Only Fools and Horses, Uncle Albert. Every ship he got off sank. Julian says, evening, RR Davis.
Jude War.
What does R stand for, RR Davis? Because it's a bit of a mouthful, RR Davis all the time.
R.
And it sounds like I'm on a stutter.
Oh, you're a pirate.
There you go.
R.
Arr. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that if you want. Callum says, join the ex-Royal New Zealand... John, the ex-Royal New Zealand Air Force, Hercs, have found their new places. Since they have been replaced, one's in the museum, one got sold off to be a firebomber in the States, and the last is a training airframe.
There you go.
Does anyone else find it makes you feel really old when you see the equipment you used to work on in a museum?
Yeah, but their stuff is particularly old. The New Zealand Hercs are the first H-model Hercs in the world.
Yeah.
So they have gas turbine compressors before APUs.
Yeah.
Whereas Australians had hand crank engines.
When I used to fly on the Hercs at Lynham, they had GTC.
Yeah. It was E-model GTCs. Yeah, and that's cool. So here's a fun fact. You're talking about people taking clocks and compasses and all that stuff before. One of the embuggerances for me, and certainly the engineering staff, is every time the E models flew for the last time, while they're flying, the flight engineers with their Leatherman would unscrew the compliance plate and take it with them as a key ring or whatever, as a souvenir. It was a pain in the ass. We knew they were going to do it, and we asked them not to do it every time. And every time they did it, and then Lockheed Martin, they charged us something like, I think it was over $100,000 for each one they took to give us a new compliance plate so we can sell it back to Lockheed Martin, because it's like taking the compliance plate of a vehicle. And you talk to the flight engineers and they deny everything. And to this day, I fucking hate flight engineers.
Paul Tanker says, Sandra, happy tree and friends. Yay. Just had a message off Callum. Whilst we've been live, he has designed some 88mm shells for us.
Wow.
Cool.
How cool.
I can get it.
How cool.
Man's a genius.
I don't need
There you
any.
go. So if I zoom, then focus. Oh, for goodness sake, come on. There we go. There you go. How cool is that?
Excellent.
Very.
Really cool. Beautiful.
So guess what Mr. Morris is going to be printing off?
I had bought these already. Little brass jobbies, so I don't need
Oh, well,
anything.
well, you don't need them then, do you? We can
No.
save some money.
That's it.
Sweet.
And Timbo has the other half of the pack.
Well, F you to the moon then. We're supporting our friend.
Oh,
You are
loved it.
supporting corporations. We are supporting our friend.
I see. I'm no longer.
Yeah, you're supporting the man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've just realised Dorkosaurus's full handle on YouTube is Dorkosaurus Fluffy Rex. That's cool. He says, why does our names have the at in front of them? I don't know why YouTube have done it, but they've done it to everyone. It's actually the link, the handle for your YouTube channel rather than the name.
It's probably. I was going to say steampunk, but it might be at the StreamYard end.
Steampunk.
Did you just try to get down with the kids then, John?
No, I just had a senior moment.
No, it's not StreamYard. It is YouTube because it's on the YouTube chat as well.
Yeah, it'll be YouTube of them
But they're going
picking around with it again.
aren't they?
Those naughty boys at YouTube.
Julian says, laugh out loud. ENL? Ian? No, ears, nose, and legs. I don't know.
Throat.
Larynx.
Ears, nose, and larynx. Yeah. Yeah.
Not to be confused with Hans, Knees and Bumps of Daisy.
Yeah, so fine officer, Hans.
2 seconds.
Hero of the Prussian army at Waterloo.
It's time. Oh, look at
There you
that.
Here's a question for you that I learned the other day. What
Not
is
guilty.
the correct medical name for the Adam's apple?
Epiglottis? No, that's a thing at the back of the
No.
throat, isn't it?
No.
That's the flap that covers the larynx.
The
Not
dingus?
the hyaloid. Not the hyaloid. That's
What is it?
That's the little bone thing. Something
I
cartilage.
know the Latin name for it.
Right.
It's the who gives a shitus.
It is the laryngeal prominence.
Really?
Ooh.
Well, I shall sleep better tonight knowing that.
You will. You'll sit there rubbing your little laryngeal prominence, going, "I know
Careful.
the name of you." He'll be like this, all cool and everything, and then when he's finished, he'll go down to Mary and go, "Hey, I know what the name of this is. I bet you don't."
I wonder if
Well,
Trump's put
many
tariffs
years ago
on
when
the laryngeal prominence.
John, keep away from that, mate.
many years ago when I was working for a picture agency, I was a caption writer for them. So I was writing the captions that went on the images, so the buyers would actually know what they were doing. But you just have to be really serious about all this stuff. And then we got a picture of from one of our photographers, and I spent ages finding out all the relevant medical terminology, and came up with digital evacuation of mucus from the left nasal vestibule in a juvenile male.
Blowing
And my
your
boss
nose.
said, "What the hell?" So it's boy picking his nose. It took me ages to find out the inside bit of your nose is called the nasal vestibule. So I wanted to make sure it's right.
At the end of the day, it all comes down to bogies.
Yes.
And in other news, Paul Price said, I had check rides in a Grumman Tracker, Caribou, and a Sea King. I've been in Sea Kings a few times. And links.
I've only done the Caribou on that list.
I've done a few trips in a Wessex, but I've never been in a Sea King.
Sea King's all right. It's just bloody noisy. I went in a
Try
Sikorsky thing down in the Falklands. That was unnerving because that from the outside that looked as if it was about to rust out of the sky. Yeah. Jim says, "Ask me on the sea fire. Already researched and from Dad." There we go.
Excellent.
Plenty of resources here for you, Colin. Paul Price says, "Evening, James." Paul Tanker, okay, thanks for that. Oops. June says, "Probably a StreamYard snafu, Dork." No, it's YouTube, mate. I just looked in the chat. It's on the YouTube chat as well.
It's a standard YouTube snafu.
Yes. Sandra Clark says, "You make me jump, you noisy bugger." Who makes you jump? Julian says, "Which are Mikey? Unhelpful look." Well, this is the thing. And R. Davis says, "Yes, it is a fire truck, as I'm a rural fire service." Nice.
Oh,
Well done.
hello, Ray.
That's cool. Yeah.
Good for you, sir.
Yeah. I wanted to be a firefighter when I was younger. Can't do it when you're not allowed to do it if you're colourblind in the UK.
Well, my grandfather was a firefighter, and my father was a firefighter.
Yeah.
I went in the Air Force.
Yeah, you went and sat in a control tower, away from all the danger.
Directing the firefighter.
I'll have you know, I have been involved in some many dangerous situations in the control tower.
What, you spilt your coffee?
No, you just kept going to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, in fact, when I was a runway controller at RAF Scampton, when the Reds were practicing for the in the winter, that could be quite dangerous.
Yeah. In case they pancaked on the floor or something.
Well, it's things like you'd suddenly look behind you and there'd be a hawk at 100 feet upside down pointing its nose at you. And you think, that just don't feel right to me.
Sandra said, "Yes, that may. Yes, I'm bad at spelling too. It's fine. It's YouTube. It's not really essential." Ooh, we have 30 watching then. Cool. Ian says, "Julian, yep, it's Ian. I don't know why YouTube has changed my name to ENLSN. I don't know either." Paul Price 1994 says, "Thank you, R. Davis."
So I wonder if it will let me. Oh no, it won't. Stupid boy.
Callum, or as David accidentally called him this morning, Callus. Says, "One of our H's reunited with a Vietnam vet that served on it. The Herc was still a frontline aircraft." Wow.
And still could be.
Yeah. R. Davis, the R and R represent the first letters of both my wife's name and my first name.
Ah, right.
R says, "You tell them how you feel, John." Laugh out loud.
So I'm actually engrossed in watching Gary put those decals on.
Yeah. Sandra says, "Where is Tiff? I miss her. She's off today. She's off to visit a friend. She'll be back on Monday. Don't worry."
Yes.
Sorry.
Hence,
what were you gonna say?
we will be better behaved on Monday.
Yes, we shall be kept under the thumb of the moderator. TBG says, hi, Dorkosaurus Fluffy Rex. And R says, no worries, Paul. It's Ray Davis. Ah, there you go. We'll call you Ray. Wasn't that song Just Call Me Ray or something?
No, Ray Davis was the Kinks, wasn't it?
It
I don't
was
know.
indeed.
I don't need to know about your kinks. There you go.
Their song LOLA Lola.
Oh, that song. I remember.
Ah,
that.
you know that song?
Yeah, it was shit.
How dare you? It's a classic. Waterloo Sunshine?
No, I
That was
don't know
the
that
King?
one. Oh, Walking on Sunshine, did you say? Sorry.
No, that was Katrina and the Waves.
Oh, okay.
Waterloo
indeed.
Sunset. Or was it Sunshine? Was it Waterloo Sunset or Waterloo Sunshine?
Sunset.
Was it? Yeah, it was Sunset, wasn't it? Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you see, you need to be educated more.
The problem is, they're not heavy. They're not heavy metal or classical
No.
music, so I don't
They're
really listen.
proper music.
No, proper music is classical music.
No,
That's
it's
what
not.
all Western music's based on,
No, it's not.
except from Justin Bieber, which is just based on prepubescent.
Well,
Really?
I can't subscribe to Justin Bieber at all. You know where my heart really lies.
Yes. Paul, Michael Jackson.
You can ram that. I couldn't stand him.
Paul says, again, thanks, Ray, for giving up your time.
Yeah.
Dorksaur says, hi, TBG. TBG says, it's Witchcraft by YouTube as they messed up. Yeah. GM says, sorry, John. Would you like some of the compliance plates back? Kidding.
I could sell you one.
Yeah.
100,000.
Ian says, in YouTube settings, you have your name at the top and next one down is your handle. I've had them the other way around for years. So what the F and now this? Yeah. Check your settings, guys, because they've obviously done something to everyone because it's happening with all these.
5 more minutes. Peace and quiet.
Sandra says it's laryngeal prominence. It is. And she said her mum was a nurse. There we go.
Oh, there you
go. Joe says, what's your opinion, people? I've decided to buy in nearby hobby shops instead of purchasing kits online and even on eBay. Of course, that will probably limit my assortment of kits. I would say support your local bricks and mortar.
Mm-hmm.
If they haven't got what you want, they will usually try to order it. If not, then go to like Amazon and stuff.
Yeah. Fortunately for me, I mean, my local is bloody outstanding.
Yeah.
I'm just very lucky.
At the end of the day, if people don't support them, then they go under.
Yeah.
So and we lose them.
Yeah, we haven't. Our closest proper model shop in Telford is in Chester.
Yes, which is coincidentally where I go.
Yeah. What we do have in Telford, though, is a model warehouse.
You've got King Kits.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got King Kits in Telford where you can order online and pick up from the warehouse.
King Kits.
King Kits.
Yeah, he's on about his kinks again, isn't he?
Yeah, my mistake.
Oh God, he started with that weird face, and now he's talking about kinks.
Oh, how can you soar like an eagle when you're surrounded by shite orcs?
Paul says, thank you, Sandra. Sandra says, Joe, I think supporting model shops is better than supporting Amazon, etc. Don't you think? Absolutely.
It is.
I actually really enjoy going to our local one, going to Battle Games, because even though it's quite a small shop, I like going in there and the fact that I can talk to the guy behind the guy that owns it whilst I'm searching the models and stuff, and we just chat about the channel and things like that.
I mean, if I want paints and things like that, again, King Kit do a range of paints, but I can go to Glasshouse Gaming, which is one of these places where you can go and rent a gaming table and play your Dungeons and Dragons and whatever. But they also have a shop and a bar. But they have a shop where I can get like Model Air and.
Speaking of which, with battle games, he put a picture up the other day because in terms of model kits in the way that we do them, he only does like attic finds section and Tamir kits. The rest of it's gaming or Warhammer. But a picture of the other day, he's got a load of 172nd kits in. He's got the Wildcat, the Mustang, the Focke-Wulf 190, Commonwealth Boomerang, Hawker Tempest, Brewster Buffalo, and the Warhawk.
So they're all Apex kits, yeah?
Yeah. Yes. So that's pretty cool. I need to go and pay him a visit because he's got some more Dungeons and Lasers kits in that I want to get because I like them. Joe says, I'm also tired of our postal service and other delivery companies being late and delivering to the wrong address. Yeah, that's annoying when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Jim says, just posted pics on Discord of my Yag Panther. Try not to feel too humbled by the expert quality of my work. Not. I'm sure we will be amazed and astounded, Jim. Paul says, Jim, your work is great. Jem says, Dad flew C-517s, then onto C-547s, trained in Sea Furies for the Korean War. I've checked out on the tracker Caribou Firefly 5, big fun. Nice.
Excellent.
Dorksaurus says, so last Sunday I got home at 2:30 a.m, was pulling the bike in the garage when I look up and there is a goat on the landings to go in the house.
Okay.
How weird.
That's what the goat said.
Yeah. Paul says, no, what I actually said was, how the hell did I get up here? Paul says, when I went for my check flight in the Sea King, the crew chief said, if the walls are not wet with oil, get out before takeoff. Bob says, I had a friend that was ground crew for the Arrows, did the Middle East tour. There we go.
Yeah, one of my mates was on the circus.
Hmm.
He was one of the Blues, so he used to fly in Red 4, who I flew with.
Cool.
I managed to get a trip in a Hawk with Red 4, who was at the time Flight Lieutenant Spike Jepson, who went on to become Squadron Leader Spike Jepson, a future Red Arrows team leader.
Mm.
And an awfully nice bloke.
There
He let me do a loop over Bimbrook with the smoke on.
Wow.
And to prove to me that I was doing it, he put his hands on the top of his head all the way around. I was going to say on his helmet, but Mikey would have made something rude out of that.
No, I'd have just said, well, that's inaccurate. He had a helmet on. Couldn't have put him on his head. I'd have just been pedantic. I'd have done a Mayfield. Ian says, what the F? I was typing my comment and got deleted before I could send it. Grrr. Getting peed off now as I can't change my name either. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Ray says, is the Sea Fury that you guys are working on 172nd or 148? It's 148.
48. Mate.
Yeah.
And it's a
all the way.
Fantastic kit.
It is. Paul says, my son, when in the army, flew in Caribou a few times. I've never seen a Caribou.
It's
Canadian.
It's a funny looking thing, but does the job.
DHC-4. So de Havilland, Canada, and that's their fourth production aircraft.
David says, after Tiff watches this back, there could be some choice words before the stream on Monday.
Yeah, the debrief.
Yeah, you're assuming she wants to watch this back. Sandra says, Waterloo Sunset, and thanks for putting that music in my head for the rest of the day. I love good music. That's
my
good.
work here is done.
I usually put...
oh, yes. Wasn't it a Desert DH4?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's one.
Wasn't it a DH4 at Farnborough? that he tried to do a tactical landing and bulged it up.
Yeah, you
broke the back.
smashed the undercarriage up.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember that.
Wow. Good.
Yeah.
There you go.
The
Joe says,
best Farnborough I saw was about 3 or 4 years ago when the civilian Hercules looped.
Ah, yes.
I think we had a little bit of a record for the channel. Then we had 32 people watching, which is cool.
Really?
Wow.
Joe says, I agree, Sandra. Paul says, Ska or Rammstein, maybe. Oh, Rammstein's so good.
Scar is proper good music, man.
Baggy trousers.
Never mind all this Kylie Minogue and this crap.
Oi,
Get some proper music.
oi.
Suits and the Maytals. What a band. Play Monkey Man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I like Monkey Man.
That's proper music, that.
I was reading one of my guitar books today because I got the tab books and things. And I got the tab book for the Eagles. I was like, ooh, might start practicing that again. Because it's fun.
TBG says, yep, Mikey, Gary, and John will be keel-hauled by ModMed on Monday. I have no doubt.
Jim says, most eBay models are overpriced. I buy from my local hobby shop, online vendors, and swap me. Well, this is the thing. If you look online, you can compare the prices and that kind of different places. Jim says, thank you, Paul Price. John Thompson says, I laughed yesterday about my last name being Thomas. Out of curiosity, did the RAF paint their planes orange for a purpose? I know the P-38 Yippee and Glamorous Glennis were US examples. Good question.
No.
The only time I've seen orange aircraft, they've been target drones.
Yeah.
Unmanned target drones.
Yeah.
Generally, for high vis, the RAF would do yellow and black diagonal stripes.
Interesting. Paul says, what did I do this time, Jim? John says, did you hear about the naughty electrician when he was a child? He was always grounded. Very good.
He wasn't naughty then. He was very smart.
Bob says, Ralph flew Red 5 as traveling mech or some such description. There we go.
Yeah, they're called the circus. They travel in the back seat so they can do all the pre-flight and after-flight servicing.
Yeah.
Martin Mountford's in, says, how do, chaps?
How do, Martin?
How do, Martin?
How are you doing, buddy? TBG says, hi, Martin. Ray says, thanks for letting me know about that scale. No problems.
No problem, mate.
It's a nice kit, and it wasn't that dear either, was it?
Oh, I got it in a sale. I got the Sea Fury and the North American B-25 C/D Mitchell for the price. They were both half price, and it actually came in at about 5 pence cheaper than if I'd have bought the Sea Fury on its own.
I paid full price because Australia.
Ray says, would love to build a model of the bow.
Oh, the boo. Caribou.
Okay.
The Caribou.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Rev will do one.
They don't.
Are we going to stop
there's
bickering on this channel today?
No, there's a Buffalo. There's a couple of other variants. So, for instance, it was a radial engine thing. It's the last radial engine aircraft that the RAAF had. What was interesting about it was de Havilland in Canada fitted a turboprop engine to it. But what they found is with one engine shut down, it could exceed the maximum dive speed with just one engine alone. So they didn't proceed with it.
Okay.
Nice.
On me.
Pipettes. I'm going to mix some paint. So that's a colour swathe I've got for Oxford Blue. I've got SMS Midnight Blue, too dark, and SMS Standard Blue, too light. So I'm going to have to just make up a mix and do that.
Wonderful.
Freewheeling.
Martin says, just Dropped in for 5 minutes before I go to see the practice nurse to have my dressing changed on my damaged left leg. The results of Wednesday's attempt on my life. Oh, God, what happened? We had an accident on your bike or something.
Do tell.
Bob says, almost said Bonzo Dog Doodah Band.
Oh, they were good.
Great band. Great band.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Martin says, an 82-year-old in an IGO did a right turn across a main road. I was riding on my bike, and bike was a write-off.
Jesus.
Why did they... Sure, do you remember when I had my car crash last year? Or 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago. No. We were stopped in traffic, and a woman in an IGO went straight into the back of us at 40 mile an hour.
Nice.
And the front grille of her car was about where the middle of the engine used to be. Do you know how much damage was done to my car? The number plate broke in half. And there's a little bit of damage to the paintwork on the bumper. I would never, ever buy an IGO.
No.
And the first thing I did was I got out of the car, walked over, and she went, I'm so sorry. And I went, switch your engine off, take the keys out now. So she did that. She's like, I'm sorry. I was like, are you all right? And she went, yeah. I said, well, don't fret. She said, I wasn't paying attention. I was doing the paperwork on my car, on the passenger seat. And I went, oh, were you now?
Oh, dear.
Oh. Yeah.
And luckily, we were stuck in traffic because the vehicle ahead of us was a tractor turning into a farm, and because he was turning into the farm, he looked behind him just as it was happening. And he also has a CCTV camera on the junction to make sure nobody's breaking into his farm. And it just so happens that he knows my mum and stepdad. He's friends with them, so he gave a statement as well.
Right.
And she admitted liability. Apparently, she'd only had a new engine put in it 2 months before. Yeah. Joe says, okay, gotta go. Wife going out to town for 3 weeks, and she wants to go over her garden watering schedule with me. Yes, ma'am. I see you all next.
Cheers, Joe.
Cheers, Joe.
Yeah. Paul says the best aircraft damage I saw when working at Hawker de Havilland was the Sea King that got run over by a destroyer. Oh, dear God.
Wow. Bigger than an IGO. I had to Google an IGO. We don't have them here.
They're tiny little cars.
They're not very nice cars.
I don't think I'd even fit in one, to be honest.
It's a
Paul,
car you wear.
yeah. I think the smallest car I ever got in was when I was 18, and I had to go. We were going on a training course, and they said to us, "Do you want the unit car, or do you want to go in your own car?" And the lad I was going with said, "Oh, I'll drive in my car. I'll just claim the fuel back." And they're like, "Okay." And then they went, "Is that right with you, Mike?" I was like, "Yeah, whatever." Next minute, he pulled up in a Toyota Yaris, the old one.
Ooh.
I drove. We went from North Wales down to Kent, right, in a Yaris with my knees up on the dashboard, curled up. If we'd had an accident, I would have been stuffed because I couldn't even put my feet on the floor because my knees had to be that high up to fit in. It was all right for him. He was only 5'3". Paul says Scar, Martins, and Crombie's a good combo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jim says, Paul, just thanking you for the compliment you paid regarding my models. Thanks again, mate. And Paul says, that's okay, Jim. See, that's what we're all about on here, supporting each other. And reassuring. Ian says, oh, Martin, sorry to hear about you and your bike getting smashed up. Yeah. Not fun. Joe says, didn't tell her about the rain all next week. Paul says, sorry to hear that, Martin. John says, the most legendary planes that come to mind are Royal Navy carriers, are the Fairy Swordfish and the Seafire. I assume Hurricanes were also in naval use.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
are.
know how brave the Swordfish pilots were. Yeah. Sorry, I
Yeah, the
spoke over you.
Hurricanes were used a lot, but they had the problem that they didn't have folding wings. So when they were used on some of the smaller carriers, they were basically just left on deck all time. So all of the maintenance, everything had to be done in the open and quite often at night. And in some very, very, you imagine doing an Arctic convoy at night time, and you've got to go and change something on a Hurricane that's lashed to the back end of the deck. I mean, unbelievable, absolutely incredible stuff.
You'd be under light discipline as well, wouldn't you? Because of the U-boats and stuff.
Absolutely, yes, totally. It was. I think in Winkle Brown's autobiography talked about that as well. But yeah, a lot of those fleet carriers they couldn't strike them down because they had fixed wings. They didn't have folding wings.
It's amazing. It always amazes me how prominent Winkle Brown is, because I don't think there's a stream we do where we don't mention at one point Winkle Brown's name.
Yeah.
Man was an absolute legend. Absolute legend.
Jim says, "I go, you go, we all go." Yeah, you do if you have an accent. One of those things. John says the Sea Fury was carrier based. It was.
That's why it's got
indeed.
the name. Yeah, it's got
Although developed from the Hawker Fury, which was intended to be a land-based aircraft, but was cancelled because of the arrival of jets.
Paul says a tractor turning into a farm. That's magic.
Well, it's magic.
Hobby Time says, "Hey guys, does this Fury come with foldable wings? Any idea what the trumpeter one is like?" It does. That's what me and John are doing. We're doing folded wings.
Switch ways to go that way. Yeah,
it's just a buggerance to put it together.
It'll pop on there. Yeah, it does. It's pretty cool. I did see a video on YouTube the other day of somebody built it. He was reviewing a trumpeter Ferry Barracuda, and he was comparing it to a Ferry Fulmar kit, and what a fascinating wing fold that was.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's the one with the zigzag wings, isn't it? Oh no.
No, that's the Gannet.
Oh yeah, of course it is. Oh yeah, that's
Fulmar,
weird.
yeah.
That is weird.
Fold up the flaps, then fold it back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to have to do one of them because that looks interesting.
Yeah. Oh god, I'm agreeing to do another bloody aircraft. Jeez.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I've got a Ferry Fulmar arriving soon.
But just as a point of order, Mr. Chairman, when is it my turn to pick the build?
I think
I'm trying to remember what we're doing now.
John.
You picked the SAS Jeep for the Thursday.
Did I?
Yes.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Well, I warn you now, my next pick will be an aircraft.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind. Oh god. No, I want to do a variety. I don't want to do what I don't want is have 3 streams a week that's all tanks or all aircraft. So different topics would be good.
John.
Yes.
Might be a tornado.
So, who picked the Yag Panther? That was John, wasn't it?
That's me.
John picked the Yag Panther.
You picked the SS Jeep.
God,
And me and John picked the Omnibus together.
I'm going to have this everywhere, like Harpy.
In that case, the next choice will be Waitrose, isn't it?
The next Friday choice be Waitroses.
After the
Yag Panther, yeah.
After the Yag Panther.
Oh.
So
That's a horrendous responsibility you're putting on me.
That's all right. You've got plenty of time to think about it.
Oh, I don't have time to think.
I can pretty much guarantee.
Haven't you seen my video output? I don't have time to think.
I can pretty much guarantee it's going to be an ICM out. Because what he'll do,
just because you said that, it's not going to be. So there.
Yeah.
He's going to look in the catalogue and go, "Yeah, I'll have this one this month, please, Valerie." I wonder if they do that. You know when you do your care package thing. I wonder if you said, I want that, but could you possibly do me 4 of them instead of extra other kits? I wonder if you'd do that.
This is called Mikey chancing his arm.
I'm happy to try.
If you don't ask, you don't get, do you?
In the past, I've said to them, that's an interesting kit, but I just don't have any time to build it. I don't have any time to do a review of it. But well done you for doing it. And they said, we're going to send it anyway. They're really cool. So if I say it's to do for an online buddy build and and see what she can only say no at the end of the day. I can only say no. But they've been really, really good recently. So yeah.
Must be.
Just wondering what to do now.
I mean, it could even be. You could even say to him, maybe a 135 mystery kit where we all do the same one. We don't know what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. It could
Sorry, run that by me again.
Be a Model T Ford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not a mystery kit then.
We'll do one that we don't know what the other's doing. Is that what did you say?
No, John.
No,
listen very closely.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes.
He asked for 4 kits the same, but don't tell us. They don't tell us what they are. They just send us 4 kits. So when we
order the same kit, but we don't know what they are.
Yes.
Oh God. Yeah, I'd play.
Because that could be interesting. Because that could be modern military or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know we like
ICM would need the tens of views that we get on YouTube.
Hey,
yeah, but I'd be shooting it as a box review first anyway, and I'd be shooting it as a build review as we're going along building it.
Exactly.
So it'll still be a regular video.
Actually, yeah. If you don't do a mystery one, just pick a kit and ask for 4 of them, then if we can let the viewers know beforehand, and you can say to Ballet, we'll let the viewers know beforehand, and they could buy more. They'll some of them might buy the kit as well to join in.
Yeah.
Because they have said that they want to start doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's cool. So if we allow, I don't know how long the Jagd Panther's going to take to build.
Yeah.
That's what 6-8 weeks, something like that, I guess. Because I'm just wondering what they might have coming up in the release schedule that they've announced in the past, things that they're going to release that you think that would be fun.
Yeah. Just not something like the Tahi or something.
No.
Gary wouldn't even get it in his room.
Shit.
Although they are doing 2 releases of that this year as the civilian one, which that's actually one I might finally get around to building. So I haven't built any of the rest of them. They've all gone. But that I'd be tempted by because I just think it's cool. But yeah. So some sort of vehicle or aircraft would you prefer, do you think, for that sort of thing?
Whichever one.
Because if you're doing a vehicle, then you're going to want to diorama it up, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that'd be cool.
It's not a bad idea.
And if it's a vehicle, preferably 135 because it needs to be big enough to be on the screen for people to see it.
Absolutely. No, it would be 35th. I've got a couple of ideas. Maybe we'll talk about some ideas off stream, so we still have the excitement for the viewers.
Yeah,
guessing what we might do. But I've got a couple of ideas. Well, one idea springs to mind straight away, actually.
Yeah.
But anyway,
what's Gary showing us? Oh, it's his marbles. Oh, there you go.
Hello.
There we go.
Ooh.
A little motorbike.
That was my garden build. That was when you were on holiday, when we had the hot weather, Gary. I tried an experiment of modelling in the garden with just a small kit and my Go box that I take down to the model club with me, and the AK pens, and that was built with that.
Wow.
Right, I need to rattle through the chat because we've got 10 minutes left.
Okay.
Sure. Okay.
Jim says,
Off you, Russ.
John, the string bag is my favourite Royal Navy aircraft, carrier aircraft of World War II. There's a beauty in airframe that has always caught my eye since first seeing it during the film Sink the Bismarck. There we go. It's a good film. That's on YouTube.
Mm.
Do you know what? Since he found it funny, I'm going to call him John Thomas. Says, I recall the Polish squadron of the RAF. Were there any in the Royal Navy? Not sure. I imagine there were.
No, there were no Polish fleet air arm squadrons.
Yeah.
There we go. There might have been individual pilots because there's individual American
Absolutely.
pilots, so.
Very, very likely that they would. But there were no Polish squadrons per se of the fleet air arm.
Ian says, them little Citroen AX years ago were made out of nothing. I always refused offers of lifts in those death traps. Yeah. Junior says, part 1, Joe's gardening water schedule reminds me of my late uncle. He bought an automated irrigation system for the greenhouse and went on holiday for 2 weeks. He got back home and told my dad his tomatoes looked like they'd had a damn good kicking. There we go. And Martin says, you're right about the IGO. It's totaled, despite only hitting a motorbike and my head. Yeah. The damn thing's made out of plastic. Plastic and tin foil, I think. But Ian says, hi, Hobby Time. Yes, the kit comes with folded wing options. And Hobby Time says, cheers. Martin says, bye for now. Off to the doctors. See you later, buddy. Get better.
See you, mate. Take care.
June says, once a woman crashed her car into the side of a 52-seat coach driven by a friend. She told the police I was looking for cars, not coaches, as if she was too important to worry about coaches. It's like the people that say, oh, I didn't see you because you're only on a motorbike. Well, you look for the smallest thing on the road.
Well, what was it Jack Parrott said? I turned into the wrong house and collided with a tree I haven't got.
Yeah. Ian says, bye, Martin. The better looking Marley says, hello to all on screen and in Chatsville. Hello,
Mr.
Paul.
Bobby.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what you
Yeah. Jem says, Yag Panthers painted yellow with rope feeding from the side. Wheel chock. Oh. I could paint it chromate yellow. That would look cool. That would have made a good minion tank, Gary.
I've still got the minion tank.
GM says she was a JP, Justice of the Peace. Police prosecuted her, so insurance refused to cover her, and she got 52 whiplash claims, and bus owners claimed repair costs plus loss of earnings. Ooh.
Jesus.
148th Hamden.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Wrong.
And Paul, better look Marley saying, oh. No, oh no.
Paul says, a friend said he wanted to study burrowing mammals. I said, go for it.
God.
Ian said, it's often the important people causing accidents. I was stood with a lollipop lady last week, and a VIP, very important parent, parked right opposite us. The stupid cow is asked to move. Yeah. Very important pillocks. Black Hat Scale Model says, love to see you guys do something a bit left of centre. How about a World War I artillery project? Yes!
Hey, not a problem. Not
I
a problem.
A World War I ICM World War I US ammo truck. Courtesy of Waitrose.
That's not an artillery subject, is it?
No. But it carried artillery rounds. Think about it. Yeah, I would love to do something like that. That'd be so cool.
As I say never. As long as it's not a floaty thing, I don't mind.
Well, so we're not doing the 7-class lifeboat at any time?
I haven't committed to that yet, have I?
That's a floaty thing. You're not saying no.
But I haven't committed to it either.
Ian says, I'll only be 2 minutes. Famous last words. John says, any wheels up modelers? I would. In fact, I would love to, but the wings are going to be folded and it would kind of fall out of the sky.
Yeah.
Good point. But
yeah, I just putting wheels up, but I it's I just don't see the point in certain people on YouTube or wherever being so militant about it. Like, just build what you want and just don't put. Don't make your views everyone else's views.
I've got I've got a Spitfire done with the wheels up, a Hawk done with the wheels up, and the ME410 is it? With the wheels up.
I want to do a wheels up one, but I need to get a stand first.
Now I've got a 3D print for a stand.
So if I decide to do one with wings up, you'll 3D print.
With wings up.
Yeah. I'll do one with wings up. No, wheels up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I've got a 3D print file for.
Is that before or after you finish doing Little Willie?
In fact, I'll show you because here it is. It said. Let me just get that.
Yeah, is that before or after you print Little Willie?
Holy crap! So I've just had a couple of photos sent through by Tim. Timmer. I don't think he'll mind if I showed them here. I'll be very quick.
Two secs, because Gary's in the middle of showing us something. There we go. Looks good.
Nice.
Yep. So there you go. Sorry, John.
No, I'm sorry. So he hasn't wasted any time at all.
Oh wow.
Machine and Krieger.
Nice.
Ammo Knight.
So that was the one, the prize he got, wasn't it?
It is for the
Bloody hell.
competition he won a week ago. So he has not wasted time.
Wow.
He's done good.
Well done, Timmy. Timmy.
Look at that. Love the tank.
See, what you need to do now,
I
Tim, is
love the weathering on it.
Yeah,
what you need to do now, Tim, is put the BBC logo on it so that you remember that there's a competition prize.
I was going to say the British Broadcasting Corporation.
That's very good. Okay. Right. Very good.
Yeah.
Back to the studio.
Julian says, evening, Paul. David says, in Salisbury, a woman drove into a Land Rover and said she didn't see it because it was camouflage. Oh, dear. John says, great video. I had a cup of coffee. Thank you. No problems. Hope you enjoyed your coffee, buddy. Black Hat says, the truck wouldn't...
Think of that. I think he meant to say tow.
Yeah, would tow the artillery piece. Yeah. It'd tow the artillery piece and carry the ammunition. Tell you what I would love to do. The Holt tractor. It was...
Yeah.
It was a gun carriage, wasn't it, for the...
Yeah. Jeff Donahue on YouTube has built that one.
Yeah.
Something.
That'd be cool. Or the was it the Mark 9 that what's his name? Shit.
It's a funny name.
Not Night Shift, the other one.
Uncle Night Shift. Plasmo?
That's it, Plasmo. He did the World War One gun carrier, didn't he?
Hmm.
That looks absolutely stunning. I'd love to do that.
He's a stunning modeler, he is, Plasmo.
Yeah.
Ray says, g'day, Black Hat. Black Hat corrects self saying tow. Julian says, I think that woman who crashed into the bus must have paid out a small mortgage in one go. Yeah. That's why you have insurance. Pop says, just had Edward kit delivered. Found out dual combo means 2 kits in a box.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're brilliant,
Yeah.
Bob.
At least they're not strand based, but
Yeah.
well played.
Or are they?
All hail King Bob.
Yeah.
So I've made up my change camera. I've made up my mix of what I'm going to go with. Oxford Blue, which is I could look up the number, but it's British Standard 105. So it's not entirely accurate, but it's pretty bloody good. So as I said earlier, midnight blue is too dark and blue is too light. In fact, showing there, you could probably see the difference between the two. So I've gone. It's a pretty much 2 parts midnight blue, 1 part light blue, and it's coming up with what I think is a much more agreeable color.
Yeah, that looks all right.
So I'm going to stick with that. So it's
now. Hurry.
2 to 1. That's my mix.
Cool. There we go.
Get these short bike and gone like yesterday.
3 minutes to say 2 to 1. Well done, John.
Well, occasionally I would think
John,
people here would be
shut up!
interested in modelling.
I need to get through the comments. We're already over. Ray says, "Take
Shutting
care,
up.
guys." Ray says, "Take care, guys. I hope that you all had a good weekend." John, we need to catch up again someday.
We do, Ray. I'll be down. Oh my God, this sounds bad. I'll be down your way tomorrow, but I won't be able to drop in.
Stalker.
But I'm going down to Campbelltown.
Paul says, "If it wasn't for gravity, the sky would be full of dead birds." That's true. They just float. Jim says, "John, I prefer to model jet aircraft in wheels up mode. Compliments to the sleek airframe of most military jet aircraft."
No, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I've got nothing against it. Just there is a particular modeler out there that wants everyone. He will only accept wheels up, so therefore he's pushing his view onto everyone else, and I don't like that. You build what you want, how you want.
You could tell us who that is after the show.
Okay.
I think I'm guessing, but Ian says, "I hate wheels up. The new Jaguar is wheels down only, overrated." Or something. Go for it says hello, go for it, and he says hi to Julian and hi to Jim and hi all, hello. And Julian says, "In my honest opinion, I think the problem with wheels up models is they look wrong if there's no pilot, as there often isn't. If the wheels are up and it's not an aircraft, you might want to look at the destructions again."
That is true with the wheels up. Very often the kit doesn't have a pilot in it, so but I don't look at it like that.
Jim says hello, go for it, and Julian says hi, go for it. Blackhat says, "Order the A7B as its running gear is a direct rip off the Holt tractor." Yeah, I've got the Meng A7B kit. That's cool, but it's not something we'd really do as a buddy build on channel because it's like 60 odd quid for the kit. So we try and do kits that are affordable. So if people want to join in, they can. Ian says, go for it. David says, Bob. Jim, Oxford Blue. Is there a Cambridge Red? Probably.
It's a Cambridge Blue. There's Oxford Blue and Cambridge Blue.
David says, loved the chat.
Watched the boat race.
When we were able to get to it, thanks to John.
Tunbridge Wells Blue.
Blue.
Telford Teal.
It's Teacat Blue, yeah.
Or Telford Turd.
Ah.
Julian says, no, Jim, as it relates to universities, Cambridge and Oxford have different blues. There we go. Right, we've got through chat.
Cheers, bye.
Oh, looking great.
That looks awesome.
That's lovely, Gary. That is lovely.
Okay, so off screen in the next week, I'm going to paint mine blue. So I'll be able to continue with the actual build.
Yeah.
Off screen, it'll be blue.
Julian says, my guest John meant that the gent mentioned wearing gloves and tweed the other day who the crowd parted around.
I know you.
No, I don't.
Paul says, keep up the great therapy, guys. Take care all. See you later, buddy.
Yeah, we're going back into therapy for the weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do tend to say to Maria, it's time for my group session now.
Now, this has been fun. I've made some progress. It's all good.
Yeah. So,
good.
We're back on Monday at 12 o'clock. Cool out, everyone.
Ta-da.
Bye.